Hello everyone, this is Assistant Professor Divya Shetlur. We are here to discuss Advanced Human Resource Management, the subject that is covered in Semester 5 of Integrated MBA. Now, before going through the subject of Advanced Human Resource Management, let us recap and rewind whatever we had studied or the concepts that we had studied under the subject Basics of Human Resource Management in Semester 4. We understood the definition of human resource management, that is, it is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of the procurement, development, compensation, integration, maintenance, and separation of human resources to the end that individual, organizational, and social objectives are accomplished. Here, within the subject, we studied about different functions of human resource management, wherein we started with learning about human resource planning, job analysis, job design, under which we also studied job description and job specification. We studied about recruitment and selection, the concepts of recruitment, concept of selection, the difference between both processes of recruitment and selection, training and development, how is one connected to the other, how one leads to the other, how is one different from the other. We studied about performance appraisal, wherein we studied the need for performance appraisal and different methods of performance appraisal. Also, we studied about the process of performance appraisal. Lastly, in the last module, we studied about industrial relations and labor legislations. Now, in this particular video, we would be discussing Module 1 of AHRM, that is Advanced Human Resource Management. Module 1 talks about performance appraisal, under which we would be studying analysis and design of performance standards, its purpose, need, and challenges, types of performance appraisal, that is traits, behavioral, and result-oriented. We would be studying certain methods of performance appraisal and focus on them, like critical incident method, graphic rating scale, bars, narratives, force choice, and force distribution method. We would also be focusing upon 360-degree feedback, the method and its merits and demerits. Second portion of this module talks about compensation management, wherein we would be studying the concepts of wage and salary. What is wage? What is salary? How one is different from another, its definitions, concepts, the concept of rewards, incentives, and managerial compensation, common compensation systems like salary, hourly pay, pay for performance, and contractor pay, incentive compensation such as merit-based pay, piece rate, commission, bonus, and skill-based pay. We'll also be studying organizational incentive programs such as profit sharing, gain sharing, employee stock ownership. Now let us first understand, what do you mean by performance appraisal? Performance appraisal is nothing but an objective assessment of an individual's performance against well-defined standards. The performance standards can be any factor such as job knowledge, quantity or quality of output, initiative of the employees, leadership abilities, supervision, their versatility, or any other factor that can be deemed as necessary for the job. Let us understand now the purpose of performance appraisal. The basic purpose of performance appraisal is administrative, that is keeping records of HR employees or keeping records of employees. It helps us documenting the HR decisions with regards to performance and its related issues. It helps us determine promotions of employees. It helps us determine transfers and change in job assignments. The data that is derived out of conducting performance appraisal helps us identifying the poor performance and the scope of training. It helps us decide upon retention, layoff, or termination of certain employees. It helps us deciding upon the salary levels and incentives for employees. It also helps us in validating selection criteria relating to performance scores to selection and interviews. More often, the data that is derived from performance appraisal and the performance appraisal conduction is used for meeting the legal requirements. Another purpose of conducting performance appraisal is developmental aspect, wherein we get to know whether or not there is scope of improvement for employees' performances. Here, by conducting performance appraisal, we get to give the employees the necessary feedback that is important for them. It helps us identify the individual skills, core competencies, strengths, and weaknesses. It helps us recognize individual performances. It assists in identifying and setting individual department and organizational goals. It helps us evaluate the goal achievement of individuals as it helps us evaluate the performance as against the benchmarks. It helps us identifying the training needs for different employees. It helps in improving the communication between subordinates and the authorities. It provides an environment for the leaders to help their subordinates. Now, why do we need performance appraisal? Performance appraisal is needed to provide information about the performance ranks on which decision regarding salary fixation, promotion, transfer, demotion are taken. It provides feedback information about level of achievement and behavior of subordinate. This helps us in rectifying the deficiencies. It provides information that helps to counsel the subordinates. It provides information to diagnose the deficiencies in the employees regarding the skills, knowledge, and determining the training needs to prescribe the means for employees' growth. It also prevents grievances and disciplinary activities that needs to be taken if the performance is undermarked. Now, what are the benefits of conducting performance appraisal? The basic benefit is it clarifies the employee's role and status in the organization. It provides feedback as well as identifies the areas for improvement. It motivates the employee for better performance. It provides a structured process for employee to approach the management for discussion, identify problems, clarify expectations, and plan for the future. It lets both the manager and the employee set up long-term and short-term goals. The statistics can be monitored. The statistics can be used to monitor the success of organizations' recruitment and induction process. Performance appraisal system also helps the management in deciding about the promotions, transfers, and rewards for employees. It is easy to identify the underperformance and take decisions for the same. Maintaining the records of performance appraisal helps the management to assess the change of level of performance and the change of certain activities or the processes that may be redundant in the organization. Now, what are the challenges of performance appraisal? The basic challenge of performance appraisal is related to the rater himself, that is, whosoever is rating the employee or subordinate. The rating biases such as halo effect. Halo effect is the rater's bias wherein the rater judges the employee's performance based on any one characteristic. Error of central tendency. Here, the rater rates the performance of the employee on an average scale. That is, on a scale from 1 to 5, all of the ratings would be 3 or maybe 3.5 or related scores. The error of leniency or strictness, that is, rater rating the performance of their subordinate very leniently, that is, giving full marks or full ratings or full rankings, or being very stringent or strict with the rating. Next is personal biases or personal prejudices, that is, letting our own personal prejudices and our own personal speculations and keeping that as a filter in rating someone. And last is recency effect. Recency effect is assessing the performance of any employee based on their recent good or bad experience. Another challenge of performance appraisal method is failure of supervisors in conducting performance appraisal and post-performance appraisal interviews. Most of the appraisal is based on subjectivity and not objectively. Less reliability and validity of the performance appraisal techniques. Negative ratings affect interpersonal relations and maybe the industrial settings and relations. Another challenge is influence of external environmental factors and uncontrollable factors. Feedback and post-appraisal interview. Management emphasizes on punishment rather than development. Sometimes the ratings, particularly about the potential appraisal, are purely based on guesswork. These are some of the challenges that usually come in between rating any performance of employees very objectively. That becomes a hurdle and that does not give us a perfect data of any employee's performance, and the organization sometimes become unjust due to that. That's all for this topic. In the next topic, we would be studying about methods of performance appraisal, wherein we would start with understanding the trait methods, behavior and results. Thank you.